This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. Hey everybody, welcome to another Rob Paints. This is part 2 of Vastaryous Lair, the dragon. He gave me a hard time, you know, and well, let's take a look at part 2. We'll come back and we'll talk about it. Let's head down to the table. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to be doing on the big fella here to start things off is we're taking some Ushabti bone, and I'm just going over the horns and things that I want to be Ushabti bone, because I really want to kind of break up some of the contrast here. So I'm just putting those in here nice and easy. As you can see, I'm going to have to do a couple coats because of the fact that I got it thinned down nice. So you really want to do a couple coats here so you get a nice thin layer. And you want to make sure that you water down your paint a little bit and work it through. You see, we're just getting that coat. You can see I did the claws here. I did the horns here. I did the horns on the blue head. I'm going to leave the silver one the way it is, and the green one I'm going to leave, and the red one doesn't have any. Well, we're going to be working on their teeth, so we'll get work into that. And we will get these guys going. As you can see, I got these horns here. I actually went out of camera for a second, but you can see what I'm doing here and how we're going to work this through. So let me finish this up. We'll come back with the next step. Now the next thing I'm trying to do here is I'm just taking a little bit of red wash, and I'm just kind of creating just a little bit of a shadow here, and by just coming on the outside just a little bit there, and I do not have a lot of wash on here whatsoever, and I'm just taking my brush and just kind of just doing whatever I feel like with it, honestly, and I'm just kind of hitting that area. There's some areas I gotta touch up, I could tell already. And just very easily trying to create a little bit more depth in there a little bit by just doing that. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I can just kind of ever so lightly inside there, but I want to stay to the outside here, alright, because I don't want to take all that work away that I did. And you can see it kind of gives a little bit of an illusion that it's bright in the middle but darker in the outside, and that's all I'm going for. Nice and easy, nothing too complicated, just that little bit of line to just give a little bit more depth in there, and that's all I'm trying to accomplish. So I'm going to finish this up, and we'll come back and finally we'll start working on some of this, the real heart of this, which is the body, and then we'll take care of the heads, and we'll be right where I think we need to be. While that wash is drying, I took some administrative gray, and this is where I kind of really want to kind of bring out this dragon a little bit. I got to be real careful though, because too much gray is really going to you know, hamper with everything that I'm trying to do here. So I really just want to be very light with it. I just want to kind of tickle over this a little bit and just give, because you don't want the black to just take up the whole model here. What you want to do is you want to give that black some depth and some shadow, and by just very lightly hitting some of these high points here, and being very careful of course, and just not overdoing it. But even in his head here, his headgear here, you just kind of, you want to come right over that and just bring a little more depth to what is really a gorgeous model. And we're going to have to fix, there's a lot of things that I have to touch up here. But you know, like his eyes and stuff like that, and I really want to bring those out. But what I want to really do is just, and it's okay to just go over everything on his head here. But you see how I want to bring out some of that musculature that he has and the scaling. And to do that, you kind of just gotta very lightly bring this together. And this is a hard model to paint, and it's even, you know, sometimes I struggle with things, and this is one of those ones where you just kind of struggle with wondering where you can find your happy medium here, that you can go, okay, you know, sometimes enough's enough. And I've been struggling with this guy. You know, I really should have just picked the color instead of looking at the picture and going, yeah, that's what I want to go for. So again, we're going to just keep on working this in here. I'm going to work this in here some more, and like I said, we're going to try to bring out as much as we can of the detail in here. I mean, an absolutely beautiful dragon that we can really just bring some neat things out in if we do it right. And we're nowhere near finished with this guy. So I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to keep on going over this a little bit, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come right back and I'll show you the next step to what we do. Next thing I want to do while a lot of this is drying is I've got some Vastaryous gray here. A nice light, always has a blue tinge to it. And I kind of want to just come over a little bit off this blue head. I want to pull out some of the detail here, and I want to be very careful not to hit too many things here because there's a lot of stuff in the way. So just coming around here, and I'll turn this to the side so you can see, you know, I got that nice wash in there, and all I want to do is just very lightly bring out the blue head a little bit, and just be very careful. I'm going to turn him on his side here so you guys can possibly see how, and I'm going to work on his teeth and stuff, but I'm just not going to worry about that right now. All I want to do is just kind of bring him out a little bit where he stands out, and we can see some of the detail on him. We've got to fix his mouth yet. Probably did this a little too early or too late, depending on how some of you may see it, but just by just coming over that a little bit, now all of a sudden the head has a nice, you could see some of the detail now that we're looking to get out of the head here, and that's exactly all I wanted to do. Perfect. So now what we'll do is we'll let that dry a little bit, and then we'll start working on our last three heads here, and then we'll start to tighten everything up to where we really want it to be. All right, now we want to touch up all our Ushabi bone here, and we want to make sure that we have it all. As you can see, I made sure that I put some in areas that I didn't think I was going to put them in, but now is the time, now that I've got everything kind of where I want it, I want to kind of really start working on some of the teeth here, and just hit it a little bit. I'm not worried if I kind of smush it a little bit, because we're going to put another wash over this, so I'm going to kind of just glaze this in here, especially with the way their teeth are. I hope I'm still in the camera and I'm not losing you guys too much, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do all these teeth here so they look good. As you can see, the heads are starting to come together really nicely. So what I want to do is I want to hit all these teeth, and anywhere else that I may have missed or I may have touched up a little bit by accident with the blue or something like that, like on his horns here, I want to hit and I want to make sure that these are here, because we're going to go over it with a wash very soon. All right, so let me finish that up and we'll be right back. Now with our dragon here, we want to take some Agrath Earthshade and we want to darken up all that bone And there's plenty of bone out there to darken up. So what we're going to take is just our... We want to be careful because we really don't want to, especially with the blues, we want to be very careful, and we want to go in here in the mouth very easily and really make those teeth kind of stand out. But we really want to be careful not to take away all the work that we did on our friend here. And same thing with our red guy. Him, it doesn't matter because of the wash itself. The brown really does work with the red, and it all comes out together pretty well. And as you can see, I got some of this base squared away, so I want to be very careful. Over here, we want to be very smart in what we do. We want that wash to kind of really set in there. And what we're going to do is just work it into the back of their horns here. I want to be careful. I want to go over this area here exactly. Yeah, I don't mind going over his eyes a little bit because I'm going to clear that out a little bit, and I'm going to come back on the other side here. And again, we really don't mind where that wash is going. We really want to kind of darken things a little bit and make that work. And over here, same situation as well. And with the green one here, we're not worried because the green does go, the brown, the Agrath shade, excuse me, really does work with what it's doing. So I'm going to finish this up, and I'm going to keep moving this around, and I'm going to take care of all these areas that need it, and then we're going to come on back once this all dries, and we'll finish up here. Well, there you have it. Not exactly what I had hoped for. I got to finish the base here a bit, but I was hoping to get a little better job. This was a real tough one, especially when you're talking about trying to get that fire in between those scales all the way up. Was not easy, but he's going to be pretty good, and it's going to be a lot of fun to play him. Some of the heads came out good, so sometimes you just don't hit it every time. So there you go. There's a Vastaryous, or whatever the heck they call him, and there you go. We got that one done. Time to move on to what is next. And next, well, we're just going to keep on painting everything that we possibly can, and that's for doggone sure. But not a horrible job, but I don't think this came out as great as I would have liked it. So we will definitely take a look at it and see what we can do. And that was horrible. Well, there you have it. It's all set. I just got to finish up the base. Not as good as I would hope it would came out, but it's good enough to play for sure. And I'm not horribly disappointed with it, but I think I could have done a better job. But I think you get the idea of what I was trying to accomplish here. This is a very, very tough figure to paint, but I had a wonderful time. And I hope you guys pick up some tips from here to help you guys get through it when you guys get yours. Let's send it on top and get on out of here. Now, as you've seen, I'm not real happy with the way it came out. I tried as hard as I could to get it like the picture. That picture is really detailed, and there's a lot going on. And this comes into one of those things that I've always tried to talk to you guys about, that you can't do everything. You can do everything to your best ability, but you got to be happy with what you can put on the table. And when I was done, was it the way I wanted it to come out? I wish I was a better painter, but was I happy with it? And I thought this was good enough for my beginner skill level to bring this out and try something very, very difficult. I had a good time with it. I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you learned from this that you can't make everything perfect. Sometimes you are just limited and you got to be happy with what you did and say, you know something, this is the best I did to my ability, and hey, I'm going to have fun with this model. And that's the way I feel about this particular dragon. Is it didn't come out the way I had hoped, but the best part about it is I'm going to have a lot of fun playing this guy, and this is a great expansion for a great game. So until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon.